Okay, the recording has been started. Good morning, students. This is such a lovely morning today, Saturday morning. You all have joined over here in order to get some information about the SSC Online software, and I would be more than happy to give you that information. Now, regarding the SSC Online software, the first thing is how to access this particular software, because that is a major roadblock which you need to cross in order to do research on SSC Online. We all know that SSC Online is a product of Eastern Book Company. Eastern Book Company is a legal publishing house of India which publishes legal journals such as SEC journals from 1969 onwards. In these journals, we not only include the judgments from Supreme Court of India, but we also include the case summary, the whole summary of that particular judgment in the form of head note. So we are already printing them, but since SCC Online is a product of Eastern Book Company, we are adding some more data coverage over here. So we'll talk about the data coverage in the later examples. First, let's talk about how can you reach to this particular page? How can you visit SCC Online while being at home and do research at max, right? So first thing first, please do focus over here. In order to use SCC Online, you should receive an email, something like this. Dear, your name. We are glad to inform you that SCC Online has been added into your blah blah blah, and then you can see there is an option for set password. You click on set password, and there you go. Now you will be redirected to this particular website that is called MyLoft. Now you might be having a question that, sir, I didn't receive this particular email. Don't worry. You can raise this request to your library department or to your professor. They can let us know and we'll resend this email again to you. All right. So that's the answer to your question. Once you click on the set password button, you have to click on sign in. It will ask you to create your own ID and password. The ID has already been created from which you have received the email. You only have to create your own password, and therefore it will ask you to select your institute. Now students, please focus over here. For the first time students over here, please type SCC Online. The moment you type SCC Online and click on continue, it will ask for your email and password which you have just created. Click on sign in, and now you're in the MyLoft software. I would highly recommend you to please use a browser such as Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, or in my case, I'm using another third-party browser, but I would highly recommend you to please use the Google Chrome at all. Once you're in the MyLoft software, then you need to go to e-resources and click on database. Under database category, you need to click on SCC Online. Now I will pause over here and now I'll ask the students whether they have any confusion in the registration process of MyLoft, because that is very necessary. You can unmute yourself or you can use the chat box window to please let me know if you have any kind of confusion in the MyLoft. I believe
No, sir,
everything
no
is clear.
confusion.
All right, thank you. So now once the MyLoft scenario has been covered up, now we'll move to the SCC Online. Now in the SCC Online, the login process is way too simpler. We click on the login button over here. We get to see IP login button. Now, if you do not see this IP login, that simply means that something may have gone wrong in the registration process of MyLoft. So this is the fail set. And now for the first time users, they need to register here. You click on register here. You put in a login ID. My login ID is any random ID I can put in over here. My full name, register and login. Login ID already registered, so I'll just include something extra. There you go. Now on this particular IP address, virtually you are connected to the campus Wi-Fi, and therefore it will ask you to please enter your year of which you're going to graduate. I'll skip it. And now you're in the software. So this is how you get to logged in the SCC Online. Again, students, please confirm any confusion in SCC Online login process.
No, sir.
All right. Thank
No,
you.
sir.
Thank you so much, students. I'll log out, and now we'll talk about the SSC Online software. Okay. We have successfully reached this particular website, and now we are going to start the SSC Online session. Now, SSC Online, you already know it's a product of Eastern Book Company, and talking about the database. In the database, we have covered up a large volumes of data in different categories, such as we already include the Supreme Court of India judgments from 1950 till date. And not only that, we also include the headnote portion, such as the case summary, and also the true printout of each and every documents from Supreme Court of India. True printout simply means the way it was published in our SEC online journals, you will get a photocopy of that, which you can always submit in the Indian courts. Then we have the federal courts over here. We also have the Privy Council judgments available for you. We also have the High Courts and the Historical Courts of India. Apart from that, if you're looking for the district court judgments, you're only going to find the few landmark judgments of district courts. Then we also have the tribunals and commissions, NCLAT, CAT, and many other tribunals which you can find it over here. If we move further down, we have the legislation category over here, in which we cover the central acts, state acts, central notification, and state notifications. Apart from that, the most important is the bills in parliament which have been introduced in any one of the houses or which has been passed by any one of the houses. Under secondary material for the first year students, this is very important because we not only include the Constitution of India, but we also include the Constituent Assembly debates. Constituent Assembly debates gives you a brief idea of why this particular article was brought in and what was a discussion that was held while creating this particular article. And now, moving ahead, reports of commission and committees such as LCR report and some extra. We also have the moot court resources in which we gives you the moot court proposition, the memo from the appellant side, from the respondent side as well. And now, last but not the least, we also have the treaties of India in bilateral and multilateral categories. So the data is huge, but the only problem for the researchers is that whenever we use this SCC online software for a research purpose, we do not see the data as quickly as possible. We have to spend a lot of time on this, like 30-40 minutes in order to get one case loss. So in today's we can say meeting, our main motto is how to research as quickly as possible and how to find the documents which you are actually looking for, right? Now there are many legal research softwares available in the market. There are free resources as well, such as Indian Qanun, Vakil number one, I believe, and infamous the Google, right? So there are many legal research softwares available, but for you, you need to learn all of them. Please note down my statement. You need to learn all the legal research softwares in the market because every legal research software has their own methodology of how you can research on them, right? Every software has their pros and cons, but you need to learn all of them. Having said that, let us log in the SCC online software now and let us try to see what is the research methodology when working on such particular software. So we click on the login button. Again, the process is same. IP login and login now. Now, SSC Online is a very user-friendly, we can say, software that gives you a wide idea that what actually are you looking for. So if you have a citation, you certainly have a tile for that. If you have a party name, again, you have a tile for that. So for each and every input which you have in your hand, you can see a tile respectively for that particular option. Now, when you move down, you also have the My Library tiles. And when you move further down, you also have the link. So what are these? So basically, the first row is for only and only a research purpose. Whenever you are trying to find some case laws upon. The second row is just like your physical library in your university, which includes the acts, which includes the articles, which includes the bills in parliaments, treaties, and your moot court resources, and many more. Third And last but not the least, you have the links to our external websites, such as if you have subscribed to Hein Online, you can go to Hein Online from here. We also have the microblogging website of SCC, that is SCC Online Blog, which you already know of. We also have the EBC Learning Store, EBC Learning Web Store, and SCC Online Store. So we'll talk about the research and the library part in this particular meeting. And if the time allows, we can talk about them as well. All right. Now in the SCC Online dashboard, whenever you wanted to do research, how can you do research? So research can be made in different ways. In one scenario, you have the citation, you put in the citation, you get the case laws. That can also be a research. Again, if you have a party name, same methodology, but the actual research starts from where when you do not have anything in your hand and you're just trying your luck by putting some words over here. So for an example, you go to Google and you try to enter some words which are coming in your head as per your query demands. So I am looking for some latest judgments on defamation from Supreme Court of India, right? This is what I have written over here. Let me copy this, Google search, and there you go. There are many tons of judgments which are falling in, and now the research has been started. How? Now I have to look for each and every website. I need to open that particular website and I need to confirm whether the case which I'm looking at is latest or not. So I have clicked on this one. This is coming from April 2010, 1971, and so on and so forth. Similarly, for another website, I need to go in that particular data and I need to see whether I'm looking at the latest judgment or not. So now this one is coming from 2015. So this is where your actual work has been started. The second roadblock is that whenever you're working on any XYZ website, such as this one, for example, Indian Kanun, I'm not defaming this particular website, I'm just giving you an example for that. So don't quote me on that. So whenever you're working on any XYZ website, does it give you a guarantee that the information you are viewing right now has been taken from the original source, or it has been modified accordingly as per the viewer choice, right? So you do not have that particular, we can say, impression while working on that particular website. And that is very important. Whenever you are going to cite a document in the moot court competition, in your assignment, in your course, you need to verify whether that judgment or whether that document is coming from an authentic source or not. So always and always go for the law publishers. You can go for the AIR, you can go for the SCR, you can go for the SCC online journals as well. But always and always go with the law publishers. All right. Now let's go back to the SCC Online and try this luck with the SCC Online software as well. Whenever you're working on SCC Online and you have some queries to put in, then the queries can be put in word search. So word search is like the Google of SCC Online. We go over here and we put in the entire query and click on the search bar. So same thing happens just like it happened in the Google. It will try to give me all the relevant results on the latest judgment from Supreme Court of India. Now the results have been drastically reduced to 157 only. And in the 157, the first result is not even a judgment, it is an article. I believe someone mic has been unmuted. I request the participant to please mute your mic. All right. Okay. So the first judgment which I'm looking at right now is an article. And in this particular article, it seems like I have got a wrong article, which I was not looking for. It is something related to publish and be damned, the contempt power and the press at the bar of the Supreme Court. This is the heading. And it seems like the defamation word is missing from this particular article. So what went wrong? What actually happened? And why it is not giving me as accurate results as Google? All right. So on the Google, please try to think in this way that Google is for everyone, right? Google is for you. Google is for any scholar. Google is for any doctor. Google is for XYZ people in the world. whenever you're working on Google for your personal scenarios or for your professional scenarios, you need to actually define, or you need to tell the software, you need to tell the Google that you're looking for this from this on this date. Everything you need to mention it on the Google. But when you're working on a software such as like this one, you do not need to mention each and every minute detail of that particular query, such as you do not need to mention whether you're looking for oldest or latest. Similarly, you do not have to mention whether you're looking from a particular category or not. Why? Because every legal research software such as SCC Online, such as Manupatra, such as any other software in the market always have their own options through which you can click on. And that is why the whole mantra of entering the query is very simple in SCC Online. Please keep it short and simple. Only enter the main important word of your query. Even if it is a one word, then please enter that one word and try to hit the search. That is the thumb rule of working on SCC Online. Please, please keep it short and simple. So now I've got around 10,000 results, 9,000 results to be accurate. And now I can quickly go with any of the documents and see whether I'm looking at a later judgment or not, right? But before that, I need to students, just hold on. I'm just getting some technical issue over here in my machine. So thank you for your patience. I'm just figuring it out. Just 2 minutes. I believe my voice is clear. My voice is audible. Please confirm.
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't hear anyone right now. Can anyone hear me? All right. Thank you. Thank you for your confirmation. I'll just switch on the share screen again. Just hold on. Just hold on, students. I'm really sorry for this bad technical issue. I'm just going to reconnect again. Okay, I've shared my screen again. Please do confirm anyone. Do they see my screen?
No.
All right.
Sir, it's not
Sir,
visible.
it's not visible. All right. Thank you. Just a second. Let me reshare it once again. Okay, let me reconnect. Let me leave the meeting and reconnect again. Just a second. Okay, I'm sharing my screen again. Students, please do confirm now. Students, do you see my screen? Share
Yes,
my
sir,
screen.
it's visible.
All right.
Yes,
Can
sir.
anyone else please confirm? Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'm really sorry for that. Apparently, my Windows just went in the updation process, the regular updation process. So I'm really sorry for that. Okay, let's continue. We were looking for the latest defamation cases from Supreme Court of India, and we also already know that the thumb rule of researching on SCC Online is to keep it short and simple. And now we've got some judgments according to the query which we have entered, but in different databases, such as we are looking at the digest note category. We are also looking at the judgments category. We are also looking at the acts and statutes category. What are digest notes? Students, digest notes are the handmade small summaries made by the editorial team of Eastern Book Company. What a digest note looks like? This is what it looks like. This is a digest note represented by the icon D. So whenever you see icon D, that means you're looking at a digest note. The number 2 represents that how many judges were there in the quorum. So how a digest note works? So suppose we read a full judgment, and in that judgment there were 10 important points of law that were discussed by the justices, right? So for each and every point of law, we make a separate entry in the form of digest note, such as this was one of the law point that was discussed in this case, that was Information Technology Act 2000, Section 66A defamation, right? One of the law point. In one of that law point, first of all, we try to give you the idea of what was discussed in this particular law point, and now what was the opinion of the whole quorum on this particular law point. So rather than you reading the whole judgment, we over here have done all the homework for you and give you the opinion of the judges of what they have said on this particular law point and in which paragraph they have mentioned this particular information. Para number 46 of the judgment. So you can directly go to that para number 46 and read this actual judgment. From which judgment are we talking about? We are talking about on the judgment of Share Singhal versus Union of India. You have the citations over here, but why do we have so many multiple citations, right? So citations are coming from different journals. We have the SEC journals, we have the SEC criminal edition, and we also have the SEC online edition. Online edition is not the physical version of the SEC online journals, it's just a virtual version. That simply means it is just the internet version or internet printout. That is why we call it SEC online. We also have the KLT. I believe that's scale a lot of times. We also have the DLT. We also have the AIC and AIR. And why we're putting all these information over here? So in case you're maintaining a diary of any of these journals, such as AIR, AIC, DLT, SCR, whichever it is, you can directly go to that para number 46 and read this actual judgment. From which judgment are we talking about? We are talking about on the judgment of Share Singhal versus Union of India. You have the citations over here, but why do we have so many multiple citations? So in case you're maintaining a diary of any of these journals, such as AIR, AIC, DLT, SCR, whichever it is, you can directly note down the citations, go into find by citation option and put in any equivalent citations which you want. So this is for your benefit. And this is what a digest note looks like. So if you have any confusion, you can let me know for that. All right, moving ahead with the judgment section. In the judgment section, you have all the courts which we have already talked about in data coverage. Supreme Court, Privy Council, High Courts, District Court, Historical Courts, and many other. It depends upon your query. What actually are you looking for? So I'm looking for the Supreme Court. I click on the only option and only Supreme Court category data will be selected. Now the D icon has been replaced by the J icon. J icon is judgment. D icon is digest note. A icon is an article and S is a statute, right? So this is how you can we can say figure it out that which particular document you're looking at right now. Also, you're not looking at the latest judgment right now. It is just giving you the most relevant document. Just like whenever you're working on any e-commerce website, you get the most relevant research. You can sort the data as per your query demands. So you click on the relevance button over here and you can sort the data as per the latest or the oldest factor. I click on the latest first and I believe it is going to give me the latest case on defamation. It is coming from 18th of this month, 2021. And there you go. This is an online citation because this has not been printed in our books yet. The good part is whenever you see an online citation coming from SCC, the good part is there is no head note. There is no, we can say, case summary before the judgment starts. Why? Because we are currently working on it. And when the case summary gets printed out, it will be printed in our SCC online journals and you're going to see the head note over here in the black portion as well. The second good part of this SCC online printout is that whenever you're working on SCC online printouts, if you want to copy, you can directly highlight whichever line you wanted to copy and you can just copy it right from there. So that is the second good part of that, right? And now if you want to quickly save a document, you can certainly do that. Click on the save icon, click on the email icon or click on the print icon. But let's have a look on a particular judgment which also contains the head note. So for that, let us go back in the past. We click on the relevance button again. And I believe it is going to give me, an older judgment. Now this citation again is the original citation of our SCC online journals. The first one is the year number, the second one is the volume number, and the third one is the page number. Every journal have their own citation numbers accordingly. So some have the pagination first, some have the pagination later, some have the volume number first, and vice versa. What I wanted to show you is this. When you're looking at a judgment, first of all, you get to see the quorum strength. The quorum strength comprises of two justices over here, Justice Medon sir and Justice Oza sir, right? But only Justice Medon sir name is in the blue bold color. That simply means Justice Medon sir was the one who has authored the judgment, who has penned down the judgment, right? So this is the party name. I cannot pronounce this party name. I'm really sorry for that. And now, rather than you're looking at a whole judgment, what you're looking at is the head note made by the Eastern Book Company, the editors of Eastern Book Company, right? But where is the judgment? We are scrolling down for the judgment now. There you go. The judgment of the court was delivered by Justice Medon sir, and now you can read the whole judgment. But what is being delivered over here? That is very important. Now, this particular portion is very important for the researchers as it saves their time. Why? It gives them the brief idea that what this judgment is talking about. This judgment is talking about on the grounds of CPC Order 22 Rules 1, 3 and 11, death of sole plaintiff appellant during pendency of his appeal in defamation suit. All right. It is also talking about the applicability of Section 302 of Succession Act 1925 and so on and so forth. Also, this particular paragraph has been taken directly from the judgment, so you don't have to look down and go into the judgment section for that. So everything has been presented right over here so that you don't have to waste your time by reading the whole judgment and then get to know what's been talked about. But even though you wanted to see the judgments, you can scroll down and again, you can read the whole judgment for you. Second good part is whenever you are reading a head note, it gives you a brief idea of all the acts and all the sections which have been discussed in this particular judgment. And not only that, whenever you're reading any act and you quickly wanted to recall of what this section is all about, like for example, I quickly wanted to read what this Succession Act 1925 section 302 306 is all about. I click on that. There you go. In another window, section 306 of Succession Act has been opened up. So this is very unique, and this is a pretty new feature which has been embedded recently. All right. For the judgment portion, you cannot directly highlight your, we can say, part and copy it. Why? Because we have already embedded the head note over here. So we have an alternate way of doing it. Whenever you wanted to copy anything or any particular line from a particular paragraph, you double click on the notepad icon. The notepad will be available for each and every paragraph. Suppose you wanted to copy these three, the first three lines of this particular paragraph, double click on this notepad. These first three lines will be copied up in a new window. So this is how you can do it. Apart from that, if you are going for the moot court competition for this particular judgment, then you can also take the true printouts, right? So we have already discussed what the true printout means. You go to this print icon, and what you see over here is TP. So TP represents true printout, and true printout is the exact photocopy of what we have published in our SCC online journals. We click on the print icon, it will be populated in a new window, and therefore you can see that it will be exactly what we have published in our SCC online journals, right? So this is how you can cite the document in the code. And if you are thinking whether we can highlight any particular line or any particular paragraph, I'm really sorry, you cannot do any changes in the true printout apart from submitting it to the court. So that is the true printout. There is one more way through which you can save a particular document, that is by saving the document in an online folder. So you click on this icon, that is add to my SCC online folder icon. You click on that. You define the folder on which you wanted to save the particular document. I change the folder. I guess I've already created the one folder for MIT. There you go. Yeah. So I've already created a folder with the name of MIT. I select the folder. I click on OK, and this particular judgment will be saved in that MIT folder. So this is how this is an alternate method of saving a particular document. And the secrecy is that even we cannot see your particular folders because it has been logged in with your login ID and password, right? And in your scenario, it's been logged in with your IP address and your, we can say, login ID. Okay, so this was my first example in which I've tried to show you how you can use the SCC online search methodology and the major functions which are available for each and every document. Let's move forward and let's see something extra. We go back to the dashboard icon, and again we are going back to the word search because we are not going to put in only and only the one word for a research purpose. I clearly believe that. All right, now we are going to bit of a advanced searches. Okay, for an example, any students who are looking for some cases with respect to NI Act section 138, how can they search that particular case? So there are two ways to do it. First way is you can go to find case law by section. You enter the name of the act, you enter the name of the section, and then you can get the case laws. The second alternate method is you go to the word search, just like I've come over here, and now you can enter your query. So my query was, I wanted to see the NI Act section 138 cases, right? So NI Act simply means Negotiable Instrument Act. So I can type negotiable instrument, or I can only type negotiable. Second part was section 138, right? This is what I wanted to see. Now my query has some more content to it. I also wanted to see Negotiable Instrument Act section 138 cases wherein it happened due to insufficient funds in the account. And now my query extended. How can I enter my query? How can I frame my query? That is the question. All right, negotiable in NI Act section 138 due to insufficient funds in the account, right? This is my query which I would be typing in on Google if the query remains the same. Now the thumb rule says that only and only put in the main important word, but I believe I have only put in the main important word. Everything has already been filtered out. No, please look closely. This does not seem to be that much important in the account. No, this is just a plain English. Q2 as well. And section. Why section? Because some of the judges use section. Some of the judges in the vocabulary use ss dot, s dot, sec dot. So there are many probabilities through which a section can be written down in a judgment, right? Please delete that. Only stick to the static words and the legal words whenever searching on SCC online. Now, what is the different method? Because we can go with the search button and you can try your luck finding the judgments. You will still get the judgments, but not so accurate. With that word, what I mean by that is you need to modify your search a bit. What you're actually looking for is this act and this section should be as close as possible to this particular reason, right? You're looking for all the words to be as close as possible. And whenever your query demands that, please enter NEAR, near, in capital word, again near in capital word. But why we are not putting near between the insufficient funds? Because I believe insufficient funds is also be considered as a legal phrase in the legal dictionary. And whenever we are working on a legal phrase, we have to put in double inverted commas. This is an international practice which you can also do it on Google, right? Your results will be drastically reduced. So this is how we modify our query, and now we click on the search bar. All the results will be coming from negotiable instrument section 138 with respect to the insufficient funds in the account, right? There you go. Our software will always try to give you the digest notes first of all, because digest notes gives you a brief idea of what you're looking for, as well as the opinion of the judges on that particular law point. If you're looking for the judgment, you click on the judgment citation icon over here, and this whole judgment will be opened up in a new window. All right, so this was my first example of how you can customize a near operator. But sometimes researchers not only want the one section of an act with a reason, sometimes they also want two different act and two different sections to be searched together in a same judgment. So whenever you're looking two different act and two different sections and you wanted to search them together, you can do it right away in this particular example. For an example, again, let's take this NI Act Wala example. So if you're looking for NI Act 138 and IPC 420 in the same judgment, how can you do that? Most of you already know the answer. That will type NI near 138 and remove and near IPC near 420. There is no limit how many times you can put in the near operator, but please do not put in the near operator in between the legal phrases. We click on the search bar and all the judgments related to NI Act 138 and IPC 420 will be right in front of you. Just a second. All right. So this is how, this is a second customization method of the near operator. Why I'm focusing so much on the near operator? Because near operator is the most preferred search of the researchers, as it makes sure that whichever word you're typing in is going to be fall or is going to be displayed in the same sentence. Let's take one more last example of near operator and then we can move to a different type. Sometimes researchers also wanted to see the sections as well as their subsections, and in the rare scenarios they also wanted to see the provisos. I'll repeat my statement again. Sometimes researchers wanted to see the act, the section, the subsection, and in the rare scenarios also the provisos. How we can do that? How we can do such extensive search on SCC online with only and only the near operator? Most of you already know the answer. I'm taking a case of or I'm taking an example of CRPC, section 167, subpart 2 and proviso A. How can I search this in SEC Online? Yes, you can try your luck by writing it over here and click on the search bar. But the another way around is very simple. First of all, remove the section word CRPC near 167 near 2 near A. This is how you can do your search. So it doesn't matter if you're looking for the subsection, doesn't matter if you're looking for the illustrations or provisos or two different sections, a near operator can be used even in those scenarios, right? So I believe if you have any confusion, you can let me know in the chat box window. We'll have a look on the questions once we are done with the detailing of this particular software. So that is the near operator, and that is my preferred search whenever I'm working on the legal research software such as this one. All right, moving ahead to the dashboard. I believe we also have the first year batch with us. So for first year batch, most of you will be getting the citations from your professors, will be getting the party name from your seniors, and you will also be doing some research. But most of the time, whenever you're doing the research, the most important part is what should we write in? We are not getting the exact words, what should we write in? If we are looking for some case laws, but we are not getting the actual words, then how can the software help us, right? The software can still help you. For an example, if you're not getting the right words in your mind right now, you can go to find by topic. Find by topic is like a little brother of word search. Instead of giving you a blank search screen, it gives you a brief idea of what exactly are you looking for. All right. So basically, I'm looking for the arbitration. No, not really. I'm looking for a labor law cases. Let's take the contract law. I believe you must be reading the contract law in your first year. Where is the contract law? This should be somewhere. Oh, there you go. Contract and specific relief. All right. Now, when you hit this particular category, you do not have to think that much because every possible scenario has already been listed down in this particular software. Are you looking for construction or interpretation of contract? No. Formation of contract? No. Remedy, reliefs? No. Okay. Are you looking for void and voidable contracts? Yes, I'm looking for that. So in this scenario, it helps you a lot in order to identify which words are actually useful whenever you're doing a research. All right. While clicking on go, you have the option whether you can click on search in digest notes only. You already know the meaning of digest notes, or you can click on search everywhere. Search everywhere will act like a word search. It will give you all the databases on the account of void and voidable contracts. We clicked on all the database, and now first of all it is giving us the digest note. If you still want the judgments, you go into the judgment section, you go into the Supreme Court, and now you're getting the Supreme Court judgment. So I believe the first year batch is going to like this particular tile a lot because it actually helps. Going back to the dashboard, that was fine by topic. One more major help for your first year batch, that is words and phrases. Words and phrases is a very unique tile of SEC Online because it gives you the legal meaning of a word. Now, the legal meaning of a word can be pronounced by our Alexa or Google as well, right? The information can come from various sources, right? However, in your fraternity students, please remember the authenticity of an information is a must, right? So whenever you're getting some information from any XYZ website, you need to verify from where that information is coming from. You cannot just cite any false information in the code. All right, having said that, you quickly wanted to know any particular meaning of a word. So for example, I wanted to know what is the meaning of due process of law. I'll write due process of law. I click on the show button, and there you go. According to Specific Relief Act section 38, 39, 6 and 5 and Constitution of India, article 21 and 14, due process of law means that nobody ought to be condemned unheard, right? And this information is not coming from any XYZ website. This information has been written down by a judge in this particular case, right? Let's take another example. Most of you already know what's the meaning of bail. Let's search in this particular software what's the meaning of bail. We click on the bail icon over here. Similarly, if any judge has defined what's the meaning of bail, our software is going to show you that. So the first paragraph is the definition of bail, which is coming in from a judgment of A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras. This is the first paragraph. The second paragraph, starting from here, goes till here again from another judgment. Similarly for the third one. But the fourth paragraph is coming from a different source. The fourth paragraph is coming from Walton Dictionary of Law. So this is how you get to see two sources of information. First, the Walton Dictionary of Law, and second, the judges who have defined that particular word. So this information is going to help you a lot whenever you're researching. All right. Now let's move to the most important aspect of today's training. That is, sir, I wanted to open a particular case via find by citation and via find by party name. 80% of the members over here already know how to do it, but there are still some important features lies over there. All right, let's have a look on them. We go to find by party name, and now we are trying to open one particular case. Let's open this recently. We have seen this case recently, that is A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras. How to open this case? First, in select court, you can select Supreme Court, Federal Court, Privy Council, or any of the High Court. If you do not have the idea from which court the judgment was delivered, you can certainly click on all jurisdiction. But I do have the idea, it was coming from Supreme Court. I click on the Supreme Court. Now, you need to enter the party name. It does not matter in which order you put in the party name. Order simply means you put in the petitioner name first, or you put in the respondent name or the plaintiff name first. Does not matter at all. A.K. Gopalan, Madras of State, whichever way you want to write, you can certainly do that. However, there is one more thing which you can do while entering the party name. If your senior didn't tell you that this particular case was only A.K. Gopalan and not the other party name, or you have the partial party name available on your hand, how can you do that? Only type in the partial party name, click on the find case. Our software will still give you the suggestion according to the date it was decided. So does not matter if you have a partial information available, you can still go ahead with the find by party name option. So I've got A.K. Gopalan State of Madras. It was delivered in 1950. I click on the go icon and this particular case will be opened up. Student, please remember, whenever you are researching on one particular case, or whenever you're trying to read one particular case, please open that case via find by party name or via find by citation, because it not only opens the judgment for you, but it also opens all the digest notes, small summaries we have made for you that are going to be really important. As you can see in this particular example, the judgment is one, but there were 231 important points of law that were discussed in this case. Now, whenever you are preparing for your case in the moot court competition, you never know what point of law can be for your benefit or what point of law can be for your against, right? So you need to scroll down and see what all law points which have been discussed in this particular scenario. You can go on and read all the law points. These law points are not that much lengthy, right? These law points are just for one or two paragraph depending upon the context of that particular law point. Now, when you're scrolling down, it may happen that you would see something. Let me just pull up for you some digest note with red exclamatory mark. Just a second. Oh, I believe I'm wasting my time by just scrolling like this, right? So the alternate method is, whenever you're looking at a judgment and whenever you are looking whether this particular judgment contains any overruled law point or not, what can you do about it? How can you find it? The answer is, whenever you have opened any judgment with the digest notes, go into search within search result section on the top left. I'll repeat my statement again. Whenever you're working on a party name or find by citation and you're looking or you're trying to see what all overruled law points with this particular judgment, go into search within search section on top left and type in the word overruled. Click on the search bar. All the overruled law points will be right in front of you. You do not have to scroll down just like I was doing it before. So there were 7 law points out of 231 which are not a good law anymore. You cannot cite them. They have already been overruled. But out of 7 law points, all other law points are still a good law. You can use them in your court. All right. Now I wanted to see where this law point has been overruled. In order to see that, go into the footnotes and you can see that this view was overruled in Sambhunath Sarkar and also held overruled in Kalpana Mehta versus Union of India. So this is very unique because all the websites tells you that this judgment has been overruled, but handful of the websites tells you that this judgment has been overruled in this particular case on this law point, right? All right. There is one more feature which the researchers loves the most, that is, sir, I wanted to see where this case has been relied on in future. आगे जाके ये case कहाँ rely हुआ, right? So for that, what we can do is we can click on this icon that is called the case reference. Whenever you use this icon for XYZ judgment, it will open up all those judgment in which A.K. Gopalan has been relied on in future, or followed in, or distinguished in, whichever treatment given to this particular judgment. Now it is giving me 368 results, and most probably some of which are the digest notes. As you can see, this is a case of State of Bombay versus Atmaram Sridhar Vaidya, in which A.K. Gopalan case 1950 were relied on. Similarly, I can click on another digest note in which I can quickly see that what has happened with the A.K. Gopalan case. So this is basically a case reference which helps you to see how can you see whether the case has been relied on, followed, or distinguished. One more thing which is very helpful for the students who are going into the moot court competition. So whenever you are going in the moot court competition, it happens a lot that you need to make the compendium for yourself or for your team, right? Whenever you are working on any compendium with your manual intervention, it can take up a lot of time, right? First of all, you need to create the index and then you need to create the documents as per the pagination you need. With the help of the software, it can reduce your time. How you can do that? Let me show it to you. So for an example, in your compendium, you want these 2 documents. First of all, you need to save those documents in the folder. You click on the folder icon. You click on your folder which you have created, MIT, okay. Similarly for the second document, MIT, okay. Not only that, you can change the category of the database. Now I'm going with the judgment section, Supreme Court of India. Again, same button, okay. Another judgment, same button, okay. Note already exists, that simply means it's already been saved in that folder. Not only that, if you go to any other tile or any other research, you can still click on that option and click on your folder. So you already know the idea how it. So first of all, you need to save all the documents inside of a folder and then you can create the compendium. Now, in order to create the compendium, you click on this icon, that is my client session icons, my folder icon, and view folders. In the view folders, all the folders which have been created by you will with the documents. So currently I have saved 8 documents in MIT folder, out of which some of them are digest notes, some of them are judgments. Now the question is which documents I want in my compendium. So I want the 1 digest notes and all other judgments. All right, I will quickly select them one by one. There you go. So I have selected all the documents which I want in my compendium. I go to this middle icon over here. Let me zoom in for you. Middle icon. And I click on this last diary-like icon, that is create case compilation. Now it will ask me what should be the order of the judgments, sorry, documents. So I want the 1976 to be on the top. There you go, on the top. Digest note to be last. There you go. Page size to be legal or A4 as per your choice, and click on create. rename it to something else, create again. Within no time, according to the internet connection, obviously, your case compilation will be created. And it will also create the index for you and the page nation which you have already selected. Now, the first of all, it is giving you the table of contents which contains the index for you, coming from page number 1 till page number 5, first judgment, and page number 6 till page number 10, the second judgment, and continues to go on. The good part is, if you want to edit it, you can certainly do that. This is editable. You can save it and you can print it right like this. The second one is all the documents which have been placed by the software according to the page nation. So the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, and it continues to go on. If any judgment has a true printout available, by default it will give you the true printout. Otherwise, it will give you the non-true printout. This is how you can create a compendium. Click on the download icon on both of them, and both the compendium can be saved in your machine. This is how it works. Moving ahead to the dashboard icon, I know we do not have that much time, and I've already been told from Ms. Purnima ma'am that you all have some breaks scheduled at 11:30. So I want to know from you students if you have any questions with regards to the research of today regarding the word search, find by citation, party name, or any research style which we have covered today.
The operator and.
Mhm.
I'm slightly confused on that.
And basically do not consider and as an operator, because if you give a space in between the words, that is considered as and. So for example, let's take an example. You're looking for void contract, you've given a space in between them, that is and. Not and or are unique. So if the students wants to know something about them, we can certainly do that. Otherwise, we are already open to the questions. You have a question on the research, you have a question on the we can say any particular operator, please do let me know. Because
or also,
yeah.
or also with the space is the same.
No, or is a completely different type of operator over here. Or is basically a choice. So whenever you're framing a query which has a different choices in between. So for example, we are working on this void contract. Let's take this example. We all know the contract can be void through different reasons, right? So void contract due to involvement of a minor or due to coercion. I want both the cases to be displayed. First of all, I'll frame my query accordingly. I will delete the not so important words over here due to, again, due to. And what I want to be as close as possible is void contract with the reasons. The reasons are minor or coercion. You already know the answer. The or should be in the capital word. So this actually gives a choice to the software that whether the minor reasons are coming in, please show them, or the coercion reasons are coming in, please show them.
And about the
Similarly, yeah.
Sorry, please go. Please.
All right. Similarly, the not operator also works. Not operator works in such a scenario in which you know that this happens due to this reason, but it also happens due to this reason as well. And I do not want the second reason in my results because that can actually extend the list. So whenever you want to exclude something from your research, please use the not operator. Over to you, sir. You were saying something.
About the compendium, once you've selected those cases, and then how do you put it in the compendium part?
Sure, absolutely. Let me give you a recap on that. My folders, first of all, I go to view folders. I will select my folder, MIT. I will select the documents. I will click on the results list. It will select all the documents. And now the question is, after selecting the document, how do you create the compendium? It's very simple, sir. You go to the middle icon. You click on last icon that is called create case compilation. You give it a name, your compilation a name, MIT4. You define the sequence of the documents, move up or down, or you can also remove. Yes, sir, you were saying something? Okay. And now you click on create. So this is how you create your compendium, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, sir.
You gave an example of a Gopalan case where you said which cases overruled A.K. Gopalan's case, correct?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So in another thing, if I need to find, like I found the later case, and if I want to find out which earlier cases that case has overruled, how do I find the other way around?
Okay. Whenever you are working on any case, for example, let's take a case of Keswananda Bharti, because Keswananda Bharti has overruled many other cases, right?
Absolutely.
Keswananda. Oh, I believe something spelling gone wrong.
A in between.
Oh,
Yeah, A. Kesavan.
okay.
It's KE.
Yeah. So let's take
VA.
Sabrimala. I guess Sabrimala also has overruled someone. So the question is, what's the opposite way
Yeah,
of checking whether this case has overruled any other case?
correct.
Yeah. So for that, you would not see any red exclamatory mark. What you'll see is the digest notes. In the digest notes, you'll go to the last footnotes, and in the footnotes, right below the judgments, citations, you will see that this case, in this particular case, these many judgments have been affirmed. These many judgments have been cited, approved, modified, and I believe we can also see the overruled part. Okay, in some other digest note, we can see the overruled part, but this is how you see it. All the judgments which have been overruled, referred, relied on, followed will always be mentioned in the digest note of your current judgment.
Okay. And will it have reference also to other sources of law, just other than precedent or other cases that it has referred to?
No, ma'am, that would not be possible right now.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am. Okay. And the question, students, because we have a lot to share, but since we do not have that much time today, I believe we are also going to schedule another session for you students in the month of April with the again the mixed batch from first year till third year. You can also come in that particular session as well.
And how do I get my mail for my law?
Okay, for the mail purpose, for the email, please get in touch with the library department or with Miss Purnima ma'am. She will let me know, and I will again resend all the registration emails to the respective students.
Thank you.
Yeah. Students, before we wind up this session, please check out this question mark. Now, this question mark contains a user manual in it. In this user manual, there are some topics which we have left behind in today's session because of the time constraint. You can certainly go over here in the user manual and you can get a recap on that. How to use near operator. Click on that. You can get to see how to use the near operator. Okay. How to see overruled scenarios. You can get to see the overall scenario over here. How to see anything in the SSC online? We have made a manual. We have made a video, and also we have webinars all over the YouTube. So this is a self-help center. Apart from that, I'm just leaving the contact details in the chat box window. If you have any problem with the registration process, please do let me know. Otherwise, you can also let your professor know about it, and we can certainly solve that problem. Or you can directly email it to us. I'm just waiting for the students if they have any more questions regarding the research purpose, because today's training was more to the research methodologies. I believe we are going to use this particular software for the research more. So please let me know about your questions. Miss Purnima ma'am, are you there in the meeting right now? Okay. Is there any faculty member in this meeting right now? Okay. Students, please give me 1 minute. Let me just have a word with Purnima ma'am real quick. Please hold on. So students, just had a word with Miss Purnima ma'am. She just wanted to know if the students have any more questions. Please confirm, students. Any more questions regarding SCC online?
No, sir.
All right.
No,
Thank you
sir.
so much. All right. Thank you, students. इसका मतलब ये तो नहीं कि सब ऊपर से गया. All right. Okay. Not a problem.
Hello, sir, am I audible?
Yes, Purnima ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Yeah. I actually would like to grab this opportunity to say that I think the training that you just taken, of course, initially when you took it, our professor, Samina Bharatwaj ma'am, actually gave a very positive feedback about it. And today, Professor Parmeshwar Das and I have attended this along with the students. I'm sure the students will definitely benefit out of this session. And thank you so much for taking the training so well, because a lot of times the nomenclature is confusing on the online platform, especially when you're going for a remote access. So thank you again on behalf of MIT WP's Faculty of Law for taking this training, giving your valuable time, because it's quite important. And we look forward for your second training, which I'm sure you'll announce soon. Thank you once again, sir.
My pleasure, ma'am. My pleasure. Such a beautiful audience today, and such a lovely questions that they have posted. So it's entirely my pleasure that I have given the session to you. And again, I will announce it again that we are going to have another session in the month of April. Miss Purnima ma'am is going to give you the information of all that session. Thank you so much, students, for your time. Again, you have any queries, you have my number, you have the faculty's number. Yeah, you can directly reach out to us. Thank you so much for your time, students. I'll end up this meeting for everyone now. And for the meeting recording again, you can reach out to me.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.